What is fatwood? Where do you find it? And how do you use it? Stay tuned. When you're looking for fatwood, you want to find the place where the limb attaches to the tree. And in this area, on a dead limb, on a pine tree, you will discover that for maybe 2 or 3 inches in is fatwood. And basically it's a concentration of the sap into that joint. So you cut it off either with a saw or you can knock it off with a hatchet, the hammer part. So let's do that. So using our Big Brother Bushcraft blade, and of course we're looking for this inner fatwood, we're going to shave this off and see if we can't get down to where all the fatwood is. And I'll get back to you when I'm done. So we finished shaving off all the outer bark, and it looks like the fatwood starts about right here and runs all the way down to the end. And again, on a pine tree, you can find this mostly on the dead branches where, as you see here, we cut it off where it connects to the tree. This sat like that, of course. Cut it off. And then you want to make sure that you also check dead stumps. Now obviously these trees are pretty good size, fairly large diameter, and we're going to cut this down. It's a living tree, so that's why you want to use the dead branches. We're not trying to cause any deforestation, but if you can actually find one of those dead standing pines or find one that's fallen over, fatwood is completely waterproof and it lasts many, many years. It doesn't rot. Another valuable resource you find on pine trees is the pine sap, where the tree has been damaged or some event has taken place. The tree is trying to heal itself, and so the sap is actually oozing out. That's what this is. As you can see, it's very large. And looking up in the tree, we have another one right there, and then on up through there, there are several. And so you want to be able to harvest those if you can, and use those for all sorts of pitch pine glue and other projects, as well as it's an amazing fire accelerant. And so we're going to harvest some of this and take it with us. So fatwood is the bushcrafter's secret weapon in starting fire in the rain. Obviously, the more skilled you get, you can do it with other tinders and materials and things that you can find in the bush. But for basic bushcraft and for a lot of starters, even beginners, your fatwood is one of the more valuable resources that you'll find in the woods. And this is the piece we showed you that we cut off earlier from the pine tree. A lot of fatwood right in here, and so we're going to process some of that, fluff it up, and basically it's fatwood is a process of several different types of shavings, along with some very fine curls, some scrapings, and you kind of make that go up from small to large as you work your way through the fatwood. And so I'm going to use the Big Brother Bushcraft blade. And it has jimping on the spine here, and a 90-degree spine as well, of course. This is the knife I designed for bushcraft. And so we'll just show you how this works. So basically, what I like to do is I like to lean on it like this. You can use a glove or something on your chest to keep it from hurting yourself. Sometimes you'll have a neck knife or something hanging down. It's always good to take these strings and tuck them in your collar so they don't get in your way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the back of this knife where this jimping is. We're going to brace this, and we're going to take our hand back here, and we're going to do like this, and we're going to make a bunch of fine scrapings. And once you get a bunch of those done, you want to take your knife and go ahead and shave those off. Of course, save them, make a nice little pile, and you want a pile that's about the size of a $50. You can even go larger than that if you wish. Also make some shavings, keep that kind of flat and squared. What you're really looking for is kind of a square edge here, so that you have something you can actually work against, like so. And of course, always be careful you're doing this with your knife or a multi-tool. Sometimes the back of a saw blade will work good. But I'll go ahead and process some of this down, get a good pile going, and I'll get back with you. I'll show you what that looks like. Here is our piece of wood and our Big Brother Bushcraft blade, along with a pile of shavings and then some larger chips. Now it has been raining all day, the sun is getting ready to come out, but everything is wet. I also have put together a pile of pine branches from the same tree, and so what we're going to do is we're going to light this, feed the fire, and show you how to use Fatwood. So here's our pile of shavings, our chips, and our 1/2 inch by 6 ferro rod with our special preferred striker. Alright, let's see what we have. Alright, there we go. We got flames on the second one. Okay, so we're going to let that burn a little bit. And while we're doing that, we're going to feed into it some more of these Fatwood chips. We want to make sure we get them burning good. What we're trying to do is increase the heat. You got to have enough heat, obviously, so that the fire can burn. We do not want to smother our little flame. But of course, all this has that Fatwood in it. Fatwood's also called lighter wood, and there may be some other names for it in different parts of the country. But essentially, once you get your Fatwood burning, then you want to take your smallest twigs and of course start laying them around different areas and letting it dry. You have to be really careful, of course, as anybody knows that's ever started a fire. A fire, when it first begins, is like a little baby. You have to be very tender, very careful with it, and you have to feed it and nurse it to full strength. Alright, we got our fire going. All we'd have to do now is continue to feed it. Hope you found this video enjoyable. It's how you identify, process, and use Fatwood. This is James Bender for Waypoint Survival. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you again for your support. We'll talk to you next time.